the 5 pillars of health. Anytime I'm sitting across from someone talking to them about something that's going on in their body, I am always thinking about my 5 pillars of health, because this is how I keep it straight in my head as to what may be going on, and to make sure that I'm addressing each one of these things every time. So let's talk about the 5 pillars. Okay, number 1 is nutrition. Number 2 is fitness. Number 3 is hormone balancing. Number 4 is stress management. And number 5 is detoxification. So let's break these down individually. Number 1, nutrition. Now, I know you guys know what healthy food is and what healthy food isn't. That's not what I'm talking about when it comes to nutrition. What I'm really talking about is what food is right for you. I have a great story. I had a patient once who was dealing with a lot of gut issues. And we did a lot of testing, but one of the testings we did was something called a food intolerance test. And we found out that he was intolerant, meaning he can't digest and absorb blueberries and bananas, right? Blueberries and bananas. Who would think that those were bad foods for someone? Those are healthy foods, right? Well, not for him. Those foods were causing inflammation in his body. So every time he ate a blueberry or a banana, he was causing extreme inflammatory responses. Imagine if you were allergic to peanuts and you kept eating peanuts. It's the same thing that was happening to him with blueberries and bananas. And guess what he had been eating for 25 years in his shakes, thinking that it was healthy for him? Blueberries and bananas. And once we stopped the blueberries and bananas, along with some other things too, but once we stopped that, he felt so much better. So that's what I'm really talking about when it comes to nutrition. Are you able to digest and absorb the foods you're actually eating? And to figure out if, so food intolerance testing, that's one way to figure it out. Food allergy testing, that's another way to figure it out. Gut testing, making sure your gut is able to digest and absorb. And then certain blood tests that we'll go over together in the office. That's how I really figure out, are you getting the nutrition that your body needs to actually heal and thrive? Number 2 on my 5 pillar list is fitness. Again, I know you know that exercise is important, but not all exercise is right for everyone. We're not all supposed to be bodybuilders or Pilates instructors or Ironmen and women. No, we got to move, and we got to make sure we do it safely and effectively, and we got to make sure it's right for your body. So to figure out how to know which exercises are right for your body, I need to know a couple things. One, I need to know your hormone balance, right? If your hormones are out of balance and you're pushing your body too hard, that can cause increased problems and pain and issues. So we got to know your hormone balance. We got to know, do you have enough nutrition in your body to heal? So like I said before in the nutrition category, is your food digesting and absorbing? Is your gut able to handle that food? But also one thing I didn't mention back there was, are you eating enough calories? One of the biggest issues I see, especially with weight, like people wanting to lose weight and can't lose weight, one of the biggest issues I see is they're not eating enough. They're not eating enough calories. Now, I don't want you to become a calorie counter or anything like that, but I do need to know how many calories you're eating, because your body has a set point. Your body has a certain calorie level that it needs to hit. And if it doesn't hit that level, it's never going to be able to lose weight or gain muscle or feel good. You don't have enough gas in the tank to actually heal. So I need to know how many calories you're eating and what your something called your basal metabolic rate is. That's the number of calories your body needs just to survive, so that I know if you're not hitting that mark, that's why you're not losing weight. That's why you're feeling so fatigued. Number 3 is hormone balancing. Again, I've done some videos on hormone balancing already, so I won't go too deep into this, but if your hormones are out of balance, then I don't care how much you eat right and how much you exercise, you'll never get the results you want, and you'll never feel right either. So we need to make sure that your hormones are balanced, and that'll vary for men, women, and children. So when we sit down and talk, we're really gonna make sure your hormones are balanced step by step. Number 4 is stress. There's a great video on YouTube called "It's Not About the Nail." All right, I want you to watch this video because I think it represents functional medicine pretty well. It opens on a man and a woman sitting together on a couch. Before you see the woman's face, you hear her talking about the pain she's having. She's having a lot of pain in her head, and she doesn't feel good. And this pain in her head's a constant struggle. And then you see the woman, and she has a nail in her forehead. And again, she keeps talking about how much her head hurts and how much she's struggling with it. And every time she puts on a shirt, it gets snagged, and she doesn't understand why. And her boyfriend's sitting there staring at her like, you have a nail in your forehead. You know that, right? And she yells at him, it's not about the nail, and why don't you listen to me, and stop trying to solve my problems, right? So the long and short of that story is, my job is to take the nail out of your forehead. You can take Advil for the nail in your forehead. You can ice the nail in your forehead. You can rub cream around the nail in your forehead to stop the pain. Or you can take the nail out of your forehead. That's what functional medicine is. And the nail in your forehead is the stress that you're experiencing. The physical stress, the chemical stress, the emotional stress that your body's going through. We need to do some testing and really dig deep into what is your stress. Is it bacteria? Is it a virus? Is it a fungus? Is it not sleeping well at night? Is it not getting enough nutrients? Is it hormone imbalance? Whatever it is, we got to figure it out. And I won't stop digging until I find that stress. And once I find your nail in your forehead, whatever that is, then the process of pulling out the nail in the forehead is called detoxification. And again, let me be really clear. When I say detoxification, I'm not talking about juice fasts or cleanses or sticking a hose up your rear end. I'm not talking about that. Although some of that works for certain issues, what I mean by detoxification is finding your stress and getting rid of it, whatever it is. So anytime we sit down together, that's what's going through my head. Is your nutrition balanced? Is your fitness balanced? Are your hormones in balance? What are your stresses, and have we found them yet? And are we working on getting rid of them? So that's my process. And that should be your process too. Anytime you're dealing with something, or anytime you feel like you've slid back emotionally or physically, always go back to those 5 things and really ask yourself, are these 5 things in balance? And if you think they are, and you're still having a problem, that's when you come talk to me. But if you know for sure, one of these things is drastically out of balance, then you can help yourself in fixing those things. So I wanted to give you that information to let you know that every time we sit down and talk to each other, those are the 5 things that are going through my head, and those are the 5 things I'm working on fixing for you.